Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I get a loan or what?
Listen at you. They already done begun, huh? How y'all doing though? Y'all all right? Good to be back.
What would it mean to get that contract?
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot. It's something that we have been working on for a little bit. We both had discussed how we wanted to go about it. On my end, it was, let things happen, handle your business here, and let's just let it happen. And on their end, it was we're going to be working behind the scenes to get it done. So having them follow through on that it means a lot to me. Not to mention, I've been here for 3 years. We haven't won many games. I haven't had, the season that I had hoped, and for them to still come in here and believe in me and say, hey, we think you can be a part of, the successful side of this thing for years to come is awesome. So I'm ecstatic, man, for real.
How much have you been reinvigorated with Justin coming in?
Yeah, I mean, that's another side of it. Just having a guy like that is as good of a person as he is, competitive-wise, he's, one of the most competitive people I've met. And then just the way he attacks workouts and practices, you don't see that often from a quarterback. I mean, a guy in there moving weight when we got practice in an hour, stuff like that, that I remember from college that he's still doing now, and just seeing that he's the same dude, and I'm excited, just the conversations that we've had and getting to, throw it around with them throughout OTAs. We have fun out there, so I'm excited.
Was there ever a point, Garrett, where you said last year wasn't necessarily the season you wanted? It's been a lot of losing at times. You seem emotionally down when we would talk to you after the season, even at points in the season. Was there ever a point where you allowed yourself to think maybe this day wasn't going to come, and then when it did, what was the relief?
No, man, I've always kept my faith in that this thing's going to turn around, and that I'm going to be a big part of why it does. There's times where you have some days where are harder than others, right? And I'm not superhuman. I've had days where I've been down and felt like things weren't going my way maybe, but the next day I always kind of came back down to earth and coming to work here with these people, and like I said, people that believe in me. I don't take that lightly. People that want to work with me and are complimentary of not just what I do on the field, but the way I interact with them. That stuff, them taking notice, it takes time to rebuild stuff like that, and I built that here, and like I said, it just takes time to rebuild that stuff. It's something you never want to plot on wanting to do again, right? You always want to be where you're at. So, yeah, I'll say that.
There were a lot of people who were in your position across the league due for a contract extension, wanting a new contract that during OTAs, during minicamp, they weren't there, or they did the quote-unquote holdings. Why was it important for you to still be here during all these fine details were getting worked out? Yeah, because me and Coach and Muji, we talked about this, like I said, a little previous, and it's more to show them that all right, we said we're getting it done. I have faith in they're getting it done. Now let's go build with my teammates. I told them that I'd be, about my business as usual, and just being a man of your word and knowing that you're not the best you can be, right? You got to find a way to get better. You got to find a way to go improve with your teammates. We haven't made the playoffs yet. If I don't go out there in OTA practice and bust my ass, then what am I can't just talk about wanting to make the playoffs. No, the action's got to match up with that. So, just knowing that what I preach on a day-to-day basis and how that will be accepted to my teammates, my coaches, was the big factor in that. Not to mention, I love football, bro. I don't really need an excuse to go out and go play. For me, it's going to be more problems if you don't. There's just a lot of stuff that comes with the situation you're talking about, right? For me, it's always been just more simple to just go play football, always what I've loved doing, right?
Yeah, for the
sorry.
Jets to commit to you and Sauce, basically at the same time you guys came in together. What did that mean to you as well, and how much have you guys talked about, we're going to see this through and try to change this franchise?
I mean, for sure, since day one, it's kind of everything that I've went through, Sauce has went through in his own version, and vice versa, and Jermaine and Brees. We all have gone at this whole process together since day one, and this time around it was me and Sauce going through, and it's just another person that I had to bounce my thoughts of, talk with throughout, going up against him at practice. We both got the same things on the line, right? But we're both out there trying to win that rep, and
stuff like that is so valuable. As someone that really, that's all I know is having another, first round pick that came in initially, and guys that are, in the same shoes as you. That's all I know. I couldn't imagine it another way, though, and I see guys every year go through that where they're the one guy that is the first round pick and maybe has to bear some of those things that come with that. And it's a beautiful thing. The pressure is beautiful, but it's also nice to disperse it a little bit sometimes, right? And it can really help you become like a better version of yourself and just reach that full potential, maybe. Because
Aaron, what makes you believe? What makes you believe that Aaron Glenn is the right man at the right time for this franchise?
For me, it was just getting in front of him, meeting him. He's done this thing. He's played at a high level. He's been a Jet before, which is, for me, is huge, man. These things that, our problems we may have had these first 3 years and the obstacles of just being a player in the league, he's went through that. He can relate. And then not to mention he's seen the blueprint for what it means to take a team that hasn't had much success and he, turn them into that top of the league premier team, right? He's seen the blueprint twice or three times. So for me, that's really all I needed to hear. That's not my job to make decisions like that. For me, it's just to meet the people and put my best ball out there. That's all I can do. So for me and for us now, it's our job to go out and play good football, right? That's our focus. That's our job. But yeah, man, great dude. I can't wait to go win some games for him, play hard for him, and make some plays for him, for sure.
Garrett, beyond even the contract, it seems like since this new staff and Darren Moody got here, they made it clear to you how important you are to this team in the future. What did that mean, even just beyond the numbers and all that?
Yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. I trust that the people that are high qualified football dudes that love the game and watch the game will respect what I bring to the table, and that's why I go about things the way I do every day. No matter what the record is, the score was. That's why I do it, because someone is watching that will take notice, right? And for them to notice that and know, that it's cool. It's cool, man. Like I said, I want to go win games and keep these people that we have in here because I love them all around, right? So that's what it's about. Let's find a way to keep all of us together, right? So,
Garrett, what do you feel like is the next step for you in your career?
Playing meaningful football. I feel like I've said that a few times this offseason because, that's the question I've been getting asked, right? And that's, you said the next thing. That's the thing, the only thing. I feel like I haven't done anything, right? Let's play meaningful football. That's all. Just play in December and January when it matters, when you're playing for something, and go out and make plays. Do what you do, but on the highest stage. I feel like that's the next step. All the rest of the stuff will take care of itself if we find ourselves playing meaningful football in December and January.
When we talked to you in May, you made clear you were letting your agent handle this thing and you weren't worried about it. But was it important for you to have it done before reporting here for training camp? Yeah, important for sure. Just because what you do put on at risk every time you take that field, and it's just maybe a feeling of maybe a little relief, and okay, I can really go just dive loose for that ball right there at practice, right? There's stuff like that, little things, but like I said back in May, I really did just go hands off and trust the people that I brought into my life that you have to trust to do what I brought them into my life to do, and 5-6 months later we look back on it and I feel really good about the way we went about it. So it's exciting for us and for me, and now it's just like I said, let's play meaningful football. Let's go make it look like underpaid or something. Go ball out.
Were you ever brought other deals, Garrett, or was it just the one that you ended up signing, the final extension? Is that the first one that you saw and you were like, that's it, let's go? No, there was definitely some negotiating, some back and forth for sure. So I know involved you, like how much.
So for me, it was like, Jeff, just show me, just show me where y'all are at. I truly was hands off with it, man. I don't like to cloud my my headspace with too many things because football is it's not simple, not a simple game, but let's just focus on it because that's when you're your best version of yourself. So for me, it was just like, all right, let me lock in, truly hands off with it. Jeff, you got it. Moose, AG, all the front office people, y'all got it, and now we're here. But it definitely took some time, some back and forth.
How much better do you think you can be?
A lot better. A lot better as far as my own play and just being cleaner on route detail, finding a way to finish my run after catch a little better, finding a way to get into the end zone, not getting tackled a yard away from the sticks, a yard away from the end zone, stuff that's, for my whole life I've seen as like unacceptable. The drops, I've had 6 drops last year, 7 drops. So, man, I got to be a lot better. And we'll leave it at that. Hell yeah.
Buy anything fun?
Say it again.
Buy anything fun yet?
Not yet, man. It's football time. Down the road, you'll see what happens. My dog. Appreciate you, Connor. Good to